to see you again.
Good seeing you.
Hey, Joey, how are you? Good to see you.
It's not fun maintaining.
I think so. Okay, good morning. I'll go ahead and call to order the License and Variance Board meeting for Wednesday, January 14, 2015. My name is Roy Acree. I'm the Chief of the Fire Department here in the City of Smyrna. To my left is Scott Stokes, the Director of Public Works. And to his left is David Lee, the Chief of Police. Directly in front of Chief Lee is Heather Korn, who will be taking the official minutes. And next to her is Chelsea Jackson. First item on the agenda is a public hearing, V15-001, to allow the increase in accessory structure size from 25% to 35% of the primary structure for land lot 385, 0.29 acres, located at 3921 Honeysuckle Drive for Mr. Anthony Scavo. Mr. Scavo, are you present?
Yes.
Please step forward. Yep. If you would, for the record, in the microphone, state your name and your address, please.
Yes, my name is Anthony P. Scavo. My address is 3921 Honeysuckle Drive, Smyrna, Georgia, 30082.
Now, I realize that you have two items on the agenda this morning, so we're talking about the first one, which, as I just read, is for this panel to consider granting approval to build your accessory structure to a bigger one. So can you tell us a little bit about what it is that you're doing and what's caused this?
Absolutely. I live on 3921 Honeysuckle Drive. Recently have a girlfriend move into my property. Our future is going to be getting married. We have limited space in these ranch houses. I currently do have a utility structure outside that came with the property. It is a 10 by 20 foot unit. This actual unit is leaking, and I've done repairs to it and so on and so on. I'm at the point where I need more space. We just don't have the physical space in the house, so we're looking at building a accessory structure building in the back of the house. That's what the purpose is of this building.
Okay, thank you. Okay, for now, do we have any questions for the applicant? Okay, we may have some other questions. If you could just take
Absolutely.
a seat right there
Sure,
for a
thank you.
second. And I'll go ahead and call up staff, Joey Stobbs, for background.
Joey Stobbs, Planner 1, Community Development. Applicants requested a variance to allow a increase in the accessory structure size from 25% of the primary structure to 35%. The home on the subject property is roughly just under 1,400 square feet. And the accessory structure they're proposing is 20 by 24. So that would be about 480 square feet for that storage unit. It would comply with the minimum house size in R15, which is 2,000 square feet. Most of these homes in the neighborhood are non-conforming regarding the square footage of the homes. So it falls within a reasonable range of an accessory structure for that zoning. We've recommended approval, and neighbors have been notified, and signage has been posted. We've not received any opposition or any calls whatsoever. So we recommended approval on this request with one condition, that the approval of the requested variance shall be conditioned upon the removal of the existing shed no later than final inspection of the proposed storage shed, or within 6 months of building permit issuance, or whichever shall come first.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for staff? Okay, thank you, Joey. Mr. Scavo, if you could, I think we had one question. Are you familiar? Have you seen that this one condition that Joey just read off?
The removal of the other existing structure? Yes, that is correct.
I just had a question. In order to build the new structure, would it require the removal of the existing structure first? Are you going to build it in the same spot, or?
It's in the same spot. There's about 4 or 5 feet where these are going to cross over. So the guy that's going to lay the concrete for me is going to use his Bobcat and pull the first structure forward and out of the way. We're going to lay the concrete down at that point in time once the building's built. I'm expecting this all, once approved, if approved, I'm expecting this all to be finished and completed by the middle of February. All the stuff that's inside the existing building will be moved into the new building. At that point in time, the entire old building will be removed.
Okay. So would it be fair to say that you agree with the stated stipulation?
That is correct, sir.
Okay.
Yes, that is correct.
Any questions?
What's causing you to have to get closer to the side property line?
The side property line I have to the right, I have a garden, and where that existing structure is currently, if we go 4 or 5 feet further to the right, it's going to cause my garden to be redistributed. So the less that I could do topography-wise and messing up the land around it, the more I want to do. I do have a picture, if you'd like to see, where I'm looking to propose to put the building, and that was the ask on the 10 feet of relief to 5 feet.
And I don't mean to interrupt, but I think we can hear that in the next.
Yes, that's the second variance.
Next one's going to address the setback requirement. Is that what you're talking about?
I'm just asking questions.
Okay.
Yeah. But I believe that is the second variance that I'm asking for, sir.
Is the structure going to resemble a typical wooden frame building, or is it a metal building?
It's going to be a wooden building that's going to be painted custom colors and a metal roof, and it's all new construction. And I do have photos of examples of what that building looks like as well, if you'd like to see.
Fine. I'm good.
You want to see the photo? We can see the photos about approving it.
I'm good.
Okay. Any other questions for the applicant? Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
This is a public hearing. If there's anybody here present that would like to speak either for or against this variance request, I ask that you step forward now. Let the record show that there are none. If there's no further discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve it.
We have a motion on the floor to approve V15-01. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion that's properly seconded. Any further discussion? If not, I'll call for a vote. Motion passes 3-0. Next item on the agenda is V15-002 public hearing to allow reduction of side setback for accessory structure from 10 to 5 feet for land lot 385, 0.29 acres located at 3921 Honeysuckle Drive. Applicant Anthony Scavo. Mr. Scavo, if you could please step back up. So we realize these are two, related things. So if we could, let's get back into the need. Explain to us again for the record the need for the reduction of the side setback as requested.
Yep, absolutely. The reduction of the side setback, this is to answer Mr. Stokes' comment a minute ago. I have a garden to the right side of this that takes up the entire yard. If we were to move this structure over to the 10 feet, which is the allowable permit, that would interfere with the garden, and I have to be redoing all that topography of the ground there and upsetting what is there currently. As mentioned, I do have pictures which you guys are more than welcome to take a look at. To the left of my current shed is basically a dirt flat lot, and that's where I'm looking to put the new structure. So that was the reason for the request on the 5-foot setback on relief on that versus the 10 feet.
Okay. Any questions? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll call staff back up. Joey, for background.
Applicant is requesting a reduction in side setback for the accessory structure from 10 feet to 5 feet. If you look at the staff memo, figure 6 shows a picture of the rear yard and what Mr. Scavo described. We don't. We've reviewed the request. We have no issues with the request, and same as before. No complaints. Everybody's been notified. We recommended approval. That same condition,
Okay.
which the intent of that is just the ordinance allows one accessory structure per lot. So
Right.
I just want to maintain that.
Okay. Any questions for staff?
I've got one more question for the applicant.
Okay.
You don't anticipate any water runoff to cause a problem with maybe your adjoining neighbor being that close to the property line?
No, I do not, sir. Actually, if anything, it goes downhill, not up where I'm located, so that'll actually go away and flow away from the house. And I don't believe it's going to be any much worse than what is there currently with the current shed.
Okay.
Okay. This is a public hearing. If there's anybody here to speak either for or against variance request V15-002, I ask that you step forward now. Let the record show that there are none. If there's no further discussion, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we approve variance request V15-002 to allow the reduction of side setback for an accessory structure from 10 feet to 5 feet, land lot 385.29 acres, 3921 Honeysuckle Drive, with a stipulation that this variance approval be conditioned upon the removal of the existing shed no later than final inspection of the proposed storage shed, or within 6 months of the issuance of the building permit, whichever comes first.
I second that motion.
We have a motion that's properly seconded. If there's no further discussion, I'll call for a vote. Motion passes unanimously. Last item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes 2015-27, approval of License Variance Board meeting minutes for December 10th, 2014.
Make a motion, we approve the minutes of the License and Variance Board for the December 10th, 2014 meeting.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. Call for a vote. All those in favor, 3-0. Motion passes, and that is the last item on the agenda. I need to declare this meeting adjourned. Thank you. Yeah, I kind of have a conflict that day, too.